to get over 70,000 subscribers. I meant to mention this the other day. Maybe I did. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I just wanted to thank you for the 70,000 subs. I never thought I'd make it, this far. As a lot of you probably already know, if you've been following my channels, been a lot of shadow banning, demonetization, outright termination. This is like the fifth or sixth channel I've started that, just to try to keep the message going. And what is that message? That message is freedom. And so I just wanted to ask you, the reason I titled this video, The End of Auditing, is because I wanted to ask you a question. What would you do if YouTube or just social media platforms in general started ending, just put an end to all auditing practices? What would you do? Like, if you're an auditor, what would you do? How would you go about your life? Would you do something else? Would you seek another, if this is your full-time job, would you seek other employment? If you're a digester of the content of auditing, what would you think of that? So that led me to another question. It was an internal question. It's like, okay, Brian, why do you audit? Why do you watch audits? Why do you edit audit videos? Why do you provide commentary on them? And I got to tell you, in my heart of hearts, my first response and reaction probably sounds cliche, but it's just very simple and it's very honest and very raw. I just want to be free. And I want the people in my life that are closest to me to be free. And I want people in their life that they love to be free. And so I want all generations just to be free. Without freedom, you've got nothing. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what kind of car you got parked in the driveway or in the garage. I don't care what kind of house you have. I don't care what kind of good paying job you have or the benefits you have. If you're not free, you've got nothing. And it seems rather insane to me, because what I've been doing the last day and a half or so is I've been discovering that there's these channels out here that call the auditing community the frauditing community. And I've kind of dove into, or at least I'm dipping my foot in the pool of what I consider outright insanity, because the way I view the auditing community, and we're by no means perfect, and we're made up of individuals that do things the way I wouldn't do them. I do things that you wouldn't do. Maybe you have criticisms for the way I do things, and maybe I have some criticisms that for the way you do things. But regardless, I think in the final analysis, people in the auditing community, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And yes, of course, there's always going to be bad actors out there. There's always going to be people who are operating off of pride and ego, and they just want the clicks. They just want the views. They want to rake in the money. They don't give a damn who they have to walk all over or deceive to get there. They just want their slice of 15 minutes of fame on this, vast expanse and planet we call Earth, or planet, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I don't even know. I don't know anything anymore. But the bottom line is I want to be free. And the reason I do these auditing things is because I do want to do like Samuel Adams said, because I subscribe to the thought. Thank you for that super chat. I don't have I'll read the super chats at the end here, I think. Wait, let me see. God, I don't have my glasses. I can't even read. Man, my eyes are getting bad. Thank you for that super chat. Holy cow. Big Elvis? Big Elvis, thanks for that super chat. Wow. That strained the old eyeballs, I'll tell you what. I just want to be free. I want you to be free. And it sounds cliche. It sounds, maybe for some people, it sounds shallow. But how do we secure that freedom? And I've said this a lot of times too. We're only as free as the fellow slaves that we live around are free. The people in your community. If you got 5,000 people in your community that are bound and determined to bow down and lick the boots of the man, things probably aren't going to go well for us. Let's just be honest. It's almost like we are all on a plantation. And let's say a group of us are going, look over there, a break in the fence. If we make a run for it now, we can be free. And then the people that you're talking to look back and go, okay, I mean, we can, but God, I like my microwave ovens and my TV dinners and my MTV. Play the guitar on my MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Look, it may be slavery, but at least we're comfortable, man. We got heat in the winter. We got air conditioning in the summer. And I mean, I don't agree with all the policies of the badged law enforcers and the tyrants. And yeah, it does seem to be pretty bad. And I hate the Patriot Act and I hate all this trampling of individual rights on the highways of America. But I mean, are you sure that's the only way to go? I mean, can't we just stay here for a little bit? And that's what we're dealing with. So when I look at these people who call the auditing community frauditors, and maybe there are some frauds, I don't know. If we see them, I'm sure we'll call them out. But what do you call a former auditor that turns to the camp that now calls the people that he once fellowshipped with frauditors? Now, I just did a live stream on my D Live. I'm not going to post it on YouTube until probably tomorrow or the next day, or maybe even the next day. I don't know, but it's coming out. But a very prominent individual in our camp, and I hate the fact that there's two camps, but let's be realistic, a very prominent member in our camp, I'm not going to let you know who it is. And if you guys were a part of that live stream tonight, please don't let anybody in the chat know who it is. If you do, it's okay. I mean, I'm just going to request. I'm not going to command. God, okay, I'm going to read another one. Brandon Michael says, I take freedom. All right. Amen. 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 That's freedom. Anyway, please don't mention it. If you do, it's all right. Whatever. Anyway, this prominent member of the auditing community, this former auditor turned person who calls the auditing community frauditors, is basically calling this guy out, and not virtually, everything this guy says about the person in our community is 100% verifiably, objectively false, which makes me ask the question, okay, are you saying this against this person because you believed what somebody else said about this person and then you just ran with it? Or that's number one. Or number two, are you making the whole thing up? Or number three, do you know that what you're saying is true, but you're saying it anyway? Because I don't see a fourth option. And so I called this guy out, and I try to do it gently because it's a young guy and he probably means well. He probably has good intentions. He's probably being swayed by these people who formerly were auditors. This is all new to me, guys. All this, not just the former auditors who have turned people who call them the auditing community frauditors, but even the auditing community. This whole thing is totally new to me. So I'm green under the gills. I'm a novice. I'm maybe not microplankton, maybe a guppy in a pool of, orcas or something, But the way I look at it, if you put your hand to the plow and you've determined, I'm not going to look back because I already know what's back there. It's not the promised land. It's not the land of milk and honey. It is the land of slavery, tyranny, and oppression. And I don't want any part of it. So I'm putting my hand to the plow in good faith that I may make some mistakes, but I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing, it's being done with a good heart and with knowledge and the application of knowledge, which is wisdom. Because I just want to make this community a better place. Because I know if we make this community a better place and we spread goodwill and peace and try to stamp out tyranny, we'll make our world a better place. But it has to start with us. If it is to be, it's up to me. I know it's another cliche, but it's also true. If you want a better world, then you got to be a better person. And that's the definition to me of success. If you want a better world, then you have to be a better person, which means I need to be a better me tomorrow than I am today. How do I do that? How do I achieve that? Well, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you achieve being a better person? One step at a time. How do you achieve fitness goals? One moment at a time, one day at a time, one bite at a time, whatever you're eating. You just examine what you're eating. You ask yourself the question, Is what I'm eating, does it have the nutritional value that my body needs to regenerate itself, shed fat, build muscle, increase bone marrow density? Because if it doesn't, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm not drinking Coke. I'm not drinking Pepsi. I'm not going to drink any of that trash, any of that junk that's going to take me down. I'm going to make sure that I'm properly hydrated. I get plenty of my macro and micronutrients, plenty of protein, minimize the carbohydrates, do the good fats for my ligaments and joints and tendons and all that kind of stuff. It's one day at a time, but it takes knowledge. And then it takes the application of knowledge, which is wisdom. And that's how I see this community. And that's how I see my community, my personal community, your community, and then by extension, the world, because the world ain't going to change unless we do. And I've exposed myself to, just by watching all these videos about all these former auditors turned identifying and exposing the frauditors. And it's pretty weighty, and it's pretty, I don't know. It's almost like a weight around your neck, and it's trying to pull you down and make you negative and, give you no faith in your fellow human being and no faith that there's going to be a better future. I want a better future. I've got 5 kids. I've got 4 grandkids. I've got people in my life that I love and care for, and I'll be danged if I don't do something about the tyranny that's coming for each and every one of us. If you don't know yet, there's something called the Great Reset. There's this Klaus Great Reset, 4th Industrial Revolution. You'll own nothing and be happy. Eat the bug Schwab and all of his dark overlord minions called globalists coming after us. And if we don't gird up the loins of our mind with truth, we're going down, each and every one of us. If we don't stand together, we're going to hang separately. And that's why I have a social media presence, because I want to use whatever time that I have. And I don't know, I might die in my sleep tonight. And if I do, by the way, I didn't bow down at the altar of Jabbo, so it ain't that. I'm not suicidal. So if there's 2 bullets in the back of my head and they label it I off myself, it ain't that. I'm very happy with the people in my life. I love the people in my life. I want to be around to care and take care of them. So, but none of us is guaranteed the next moment. But I'll be danged if tyranny is going to creep up on us. Let me put it this way. What's my FEMA region? I think I'm in FEMA region 4 or 6. I think it's 4. Oklahoma is FEMA region 4. Correct me if in the comment section if I'm wrong. But if you're in my FEMA region and we end up incarcerated in some concentration camp somewhere, it's not because I didn't do all that I could to hold back the tides of tyranny. And I would hope that the people I sit next to have done all that they could do in the time that they had left to also pull back or rip the veil of tyranny. And that's pretty much what it is. It's good against evil. And it's always been like that. And it's always going to be like that. And there's always going to be psychopaths out there who are plotting, scheming, looking for a way to take away more of your freedoms and the product of your time and laboring energies, which is your money. And they want to take away the life of your family, and they want to extract the time and laboring energies of everybody that you love and care for. So I hope that everybody listening to my voice, don't take me for a rambling fool. If you do, let me know why I'm a fool so I can change myself and be a better person tomorrow than I am today. Because that is the definition of success. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. Our fiat currency, if I pulled a fiat currency note out of my wallet right now, stuff is going to be worthless. Hyperinflation is coming. Hope you got investments in land or whatever. But even in the land, if we don't push back the tides of tyranny, that house that you paid for, you don't own it, because if you stop paying property taxes, they'll foreclose on it because they claim the land is theirs. That's the kind of stuff we got to push back. All this licensing to drive down the road, permission from the government so you can have a personal protection device, that's all nonsense. I don't care what people say but the laws of the land. You got to understand what the Supreme Court said. There's case law against that. It's like, does case law trump natural law? No, it does not. Does constitutional law supplant or trump natural law? No, it does not. Do I have a right to reach out my hand and violate you in any way against your will? No, I do not. So if anybody does that, they are criminals. I don't care if they wear funny costumes. I don't care if they wear suits and call themselves congressmen or senators. I don't care if they wear black dresses and call themselves Supreme Court justices. It doesn't matter. All that stuff is frosting. All that stuff is dressing to hide the fact that underneath that frosting, embedded within that cake, is the poison pill of tyranny, and we're done eating it. We're done drinking the Kool-Aid. We done checked out of the cult of personality. Can I get an amen? Woo! So anyway, the reason I posted this live stream is because I will have some videos up exposing the former auditors that call themselves whatever, to expose the auditors as frauditors. And I think it's important because you got to call out evil while you're doing good. It's part and parcel of the whole thing. It's like breathing. Well, all I have to do to live is breathe, Brian. Well, no, you kind of got to drink fluids, and then you kind of got to get nutrients from food. It's not, breathing's great. Don't get me wrong. If I cut off your breath, you only got 3 to 7 minutes to live, and then you're brain dead. You know, like, that's the most important thing is breathing, but breathing isn't all that keeps you alive. You also have to drink, and you also have to eat. You know, you also have to make good choices, and don't walk out in the middle of traffic and do stupid things like lick your finger and put it into a 110 light outlet. So anyway, I want to be free. I want you to be free. And I just leave you with this. Ask yourself a question. Why are you an auditor? Why do you watch stuff like this? Is it just to be entertained? Well, great. It is entertaining. Yeah, but is that all it is? What are you doing in your life to better yourself? What have you done this past week to make sure that last Sunday, this is Sunday, last Sunday, I put things in place and organized my life to where when this Sunday came around, I am a better person 7 days later. What have you done? What goals have you made for yourself? What goals have you achieved? What people have you reached out and touched and benefited? Because, guys, this life isn't about us. It's about everybody that we come in contact with. Can you imagine the immense good you can do in the life of impressionable people? I think of children. Like I always say children like wet cement. They're impressionable for a small amount of time, and then after that, pretty much people get set in their ways. And whatever habits they've developed, you know, that's pretty much what they'll carry with them to the grave. Now, that's not saying that there won't be these exceptions that go, you know, hey, I was abused as a child. I was neglected as a child. No, my parents kicked me out of the house as a child, and I had to drink out of the creek, and I ran with bad kids, and I got into trouble. I'm not saying that those people down the road can't, you know, change, but it's in spite of their upbringing, not because of it. Can you imagine how powerful a kid would be if you actually gave him the stuff that he needed to succeed in life and to be a better person, and give him a head start by implanting knowledge and wisdom and rationality and logic in their brain, and teach them how, yeah, feelings are good, emotions are good, but don't ever be ruled by them. Can you imagine if people in your zone of influence, whether, you know, neighbor kids or the neighbor parents, or just people you see, you know, a kind word, a smile on the face, giving a person begging on the street $5, or going to the local supermarket and give them a rotisserie chicken or whatever, you know? It's like, what are you doing in your life to make other people better, to challenge other people, to lift them up? And then one day when you're down, they'll lend a hand to lift you up. Isn't that the cycle of life? Isn't that the beautiful part of life? Anyway, so just ask yourself a question. Why are you an auditor? If you're not an auditor, why do you watch auditing videos? Number 3, what would you do if the auditing was just terminated and abolished on social media? What would you do? Why are we here? What are we doing? Are we making the world a better place? And you can only make the world a better place if you become a better person. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Injustice is something we cannot tolerate. We can't tolerate it in ourselves, first of all. We can't tolerate it in our families because it just hurts people. It just steamrolls over them. We can't tolerate it from badged, costumed clowns who believe that they have a higher claim over our life and property than you and me. And we can't tolerate it from congressmen and senators or the Supreme Court or the President of the United States as he sits behind that stupid desk at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We can't tolerate it. So be looking for those upcoming videos. Thank you for the 70,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Make yourself a better person. Make this world a better place. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the Cash App, the Buy Me a Coffees, the subscribe stars. Reach out your hand and help somebody today or tomorrow. One step at a time. Do it. Eliminate something from your life that's holding you back physically, mentally, emotionally. Learn something that you believe is going to benefit you, so in the long run it's going to benefit somebody else. Master a musical instrument, or just get partially good at it so you can bring music to somebody's ears, or learn another language so that you can communicate somebody you otherwise couldn't have communicated with. I don't know. Sky's the limit, man. Human beings are incredible. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. Made by who? I don't know. But I look at my hand and I look at the intricacies and everything involved in this, the circulatory system, the nervous system, the cardiopulmonary system, everything, all the neurons firing. And it's like, ain't no way that time times chance times nothing equals everything. There has to be some kind of designer out there. I don't know what the whole purpose of life is, but I am searching and I'm learning, and hopefully I'll be a better person tomorrow than I am today. And that's the hope. That's the success. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I truly love each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. I can't see how many people are in here or how many likes, but if you could hit that like button on the way out, I really appreciate it. And please do this, because I learned this from, I think it was Josh from Accountability for All. One of the things that really boosts the algorithm is a like and a share on these videos, and leave a comment in the comment section. Maybe ask your fellow commenters questions, maybe reply to their comments or whatever. This is a community, it's kind of like a global digital community, and it's kind of neat. And I really appreciate it. And I'm really thankful for each and every one of you. And I will see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow banned video. Don't forget, the price of freedom is now and will always be your eternal vigilance. And if you become indifferent to this, if you become apathetic to it, that's how we secure our oppression. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.